Ticklishness. Someone brushes against the sole of your foot. You laugh, but at the same time you want to pull away. Isn't that strange? Laughter tends to mean pleasure, yet why do we want to avoid it? And here's something even stranger. You can't tickle yourself. Why might that be? Today, we explore a profound mystery within us through this small phenomenon of ticklishness. Stage 1 question. Why do we feel ticklish? The nature of the phenomenon. Why do we feel ticklish? Research suggests ticklishness may be a defensive response. A small insect crawls across our skin. The brain detects it immediately. This could be dangerous. Nerves send signals, muscles contract, and our body moves. This is ticklishness. Observations suggest that areas sensitive to tickling tend to align with vulnerable parts of the body. The soles of feet, armpits, neck, sides, all places that might need protection. Ticklishness is an alarm for survival. That's why ticklishness feels unpleasant. We laugh, yet it troubles us. Findings suggest that laughter from being tickled isn't the laughter of joy, but rather a stress response. Ticklishness isn't pleasure, but an alarm, and laughter becomes defense. You feel ticklish not because you're overly sensitive, but because your brain is trying to protect you. Stage 2 question. Why can't I tickle myself? The paradox of self-awareness. Why can't I tickle myself? Try it yourself. Use your own hand to tickle the sole of your foot. You feel nothing. Why might that be? Neuroscientists have found something intriguing. Our brains seem to work as prediction machines. Before you move your hand, your brain already knows. I'm about to touch myself, so the alarm doesn't go off. Predictable stimulation doesn't register as danger. But another person's hand is different. When, where, and how strongly they'll touch. None of it can be predicted. That's why it tickles. Ticklishness is the fear of the unpredictable. There was an experiment. A robotic arm tickled participants, but with a time delay. Even a delay of 0.2 seconds made it feel ticklish. When prediction falters even slightly, the brain perceives it as someone else. We tend to perceive what we can't predict as other, and what we can't control as threat. What in your life can't you control? Might that be tickling you right now? Stage 3 question. Why are some people ticklish while others aren't? The secret of difference. We're all human, so why the difference? Some people writhe at the slightest touch. Others remain unfazed no matter how much you try. Why might that be? Observations by psychologists suggest that differences in ticklishness aren't about skin but about how the brain interprets. Same stimulus, different interpretation. People sensitive to tickling tend to be more vigilant in unpredictable situations. Their brains amplify even small signals. But interestingly, it changes depending on the relationship. Research suggests that people feel less ticklish with those they trust. A stranger's touch makes the whole body tense, but a close friend's touch feels less intense. Ticklishness is a measure of trust. When you're comfortable with someone, even unpredictability feels less threatening. The difference in ticklishness isn't skin but heart, and the greater the trust, the lower the guard. With whom do you feel least ticklish? That person might be the one you trust most. Stage 4 question. Why does tickling bring both laughter and pain? The nature of contradiction. Why do we laugh yet want to escape tickling? This is a contradiction. Laughter suggests joy, yet tickling feels distressing. Researchers have found that laughter from tickling and laughter from joy activate different areas of the brain. Laughter from tickling is a response to loss of control. Please stop. But at the same time, it's also a signal to maintain the relationship. But I won't push you away. That's why tickling is a microcosm of human relationships. Uncomfortable yet not rejected. Unpleasant, yet the connection remains. Ticklishness is the boundary line of tolerable discomfort. There's an observation. Tickling is only acceptable in intimate relationships. When a stranger tickles you, it's violence. When someone close tickles you, it's playfulness. Same action, different meaning. Ticklishness is the moment where laughter and pain coexist, the point where intimacy and boundaries meet. Is there a relationship in your life that's uncomfortable yet you tolerate? Is that intimacy or is it violence? Stage 5 question: what in our lives is like tickling expanding to life? What in our lives is like tickling? Something we laugh at yet want to avoid? Change. We want change, but at the same time we fear it. New challenges excite us, yet they make us anxious. Growth feels necessary, yet it's painful. Like tickling, we laugh yet want to pull away. Observations suggest that humans may fear unpredictable pleasure more than predictable pain. Change is tickling. We can't control it, can't predict it, so we laugh yet we avoid it. Growth is bearable ticklishness. But remember, even ticklishness becomes familiar. With repeated exposure, the brain learns. This isn't danger. The alarm diminishes. Change works the same way. At first it tickles, but with repetition it becomes familiar. Just as ticklishness becomes familiar, so does discomfort, and that's where growth begins. What ticklishness are you avoiding? That might be the direction you need to grow. Ending between laughter and pain. Ticklishness is a small phenomenon, yet it holds a great truth. What we avoid isn't tickling itself. It's the feeling of not being in control. But we can't control everything. Life is full of the unpredictable. So true growth isn't about eliminating the ticklish feeling. It's about learning to laugh along with it. What is making you feel ticklish right now? Are you avoiding it? Or are you laughing with it? Ticklishness doesn't disappear, but it can become familiar. And familiarity reduces fear and increases laughter. Ending statement. Ticklishness is an alarm, but not every alarm signals danger. Sometimes the alarm might be a signal for growth. Don't laugh and run away. Laugh and move forward. Ticklishness asks us, are you ready to grow even in discomfort? If this video was helpful, we'd appreciate your subscription and like. Thank you.